Welcome everybody, this is Brother Meeting here. Today we're going to continue on our quest to beat Pathfinder Kingmaker. For those of you that recall, yesterday's episode we were in Pitex, actually in the Rushlight tournament. We are still there. We have one more thing to complete at least in the area. We've purchased our kick butt loot. For those of you that never played this game before, know that I'm using mods, so this is going to be something that's different for you if you're playing the vanilla version of the game. For example, I have turn-based combat, a mod that I downloaded for free from the Nexus. Highly recommend that you guys get that one alone. Elder Arcana is another one that I have that's, again, something that's going to stick out. It gives me a spell or two that you don't have access to. It also gives me traits that you don't have access to as they were not implemented in the original version of the game. Some other stuff as well, more quality of life improvements than anything else, really. Let's get back to it, though, shall we? Now, we were successful in the first part of the tournament, and in the second part, of course, we scum-saved to do that, but we would have passed it, I think, the first try anyway. If you have enough skills invested and bring the right team, the tournament actually is a massive XP jump for your characters. If you shut XP off, as I've demonstrated yesterday, you can get a lot for the individual characters that are on the party, or for the individuals that actually do the check themselves, which would be the best way to do it, in my opinion. You would need athletics, trickery, stealth, and a really high persuasion check to get most, if not all, of the things so far. From there, if you have those covered, chances are you'll pass the tournament just fine. Now, here we are. Quick pause here as I look through my stuff, see what we have as far as what to do. I think we just need to talk to the one nice person. Third contest. The first two contests changed from year to year, but the final one has been the same since the very first Rushlight tournament. The traditional drunken melee. Ah, yeah. After getting drunk, the participants armed with blunt weapons fight in the mud until there's only one left standing, and that's where we're probably going to send in either our main or our tank, and she's just going to just own it. So this will be fun. So let's see, what do we do here? Nothing over here.
In due time.
It's that carved real butt head. Guess we got to go back up to here to talk to this person one more time. And that's probably what this little pit here is all about. A place to fight. Quick save just to make sure we don't mess anything up here. Alright, talk to the person. Ready to present the drunken melee. Then let's begin. It will be splendid.
Their life ends here.
Oh crap. It's going to be me. And what's worse is I'm Sword Saint. I'm not a unarmed striking Sword Saint. So you'll see that, for example, armor-wise, I am at a severe disadvantage. Because I'm not getting my intelligence bonus. And they strip me of all my gear, of course, too. Because, you know, why not? They shut down your abilities and your ability to cast spells, I believe, as well. So in this tournament, you're not allowed to do that. It's possible I could buff up. Nope, they shut that down too. Okay. But apparently I have Arcane Strike on and Power Attack on. That's a penalty to my swing. I'm going to shut that off.
This will hurt.
Take damage, fool. Okay, we might want to double team that jackass. He looks mean.
No. You should have run.
Oh yeah, ninja skills. What's up, Sparky? Your portly ass way the hell over here.
Strike.
Oh. Oh yeah. Fortunately, I got a massive hit point pool compared to these guys, apparently. About the only thing that's saving my ass right now.
This will hurt.
Dude's got some serious armor going.
You should have run.
There we go. Not too bad.
I move unseen.
Round 1 started. Oh. And the results of the tournament. Tournament's finished. I'd like to know who won. Yes, His Highness is just about to make a speech announcing the winner. Look, everyone's gathering around now.
Lords and ladies, another Rushlight tournament has come to an end. I'd like to thank all of you who honored this event with your presence. My friends, I'm happy to see all of you, but I'd like to give a special welcome to one guest who found themselves invited here for the first time. Today, we had the Baron, no, excuse me, it's King now, isn't it? Of a majority of what was once the Stolen Lands. Thank you for coming, my darling. I can call you that, right? I thank you with all my heart.
Dude just sounds greasy.
I first learned of him from my friend Stefano Mosconi. To be honest, his report was less than flattering. Impassable swamps, monsters galloping about, and a complete absence of any valuable resources. Nothing more than a dirty hole ruled by another bandit lord, hardly worthy of your attention. That's what he wrote back then. I'm so happy he was wrong. Truth be told, even now traveling that domain is a less than pleasurable experience. Some roads have appeared, but their safety leaves much to be desired. Take the sad story of a poor Toman Henvaki from Gralton. He set off to those lands and hasn't been seen since. His brother Edrist went to find the poor fellow, and what happened? The Baron found the body in the blink of an eye, almost as though it was stored in his cellar.
I don't like the way you say that.
And the hunt the Baron put on, clearly imitating my tournament, it was beyond description. While guests were out hunting hydras and owl bears, the latter came from behind and ate at the banquet table, along with all the servants. Some celebration, right?
Ah, here it is. This is the reason we kept Tartuccio's ring. Show the guests the signet with Iravetti's monogram. I too have a most amusing story for you. This ring was given to me by a gnome named Tartuccio on that bloody night when Sword Lord Jamandi Eldori's mansion was attacked. The guests listen to your tale with mouths agape. Iravetti tries to interrupt you, but everyone's attention is directed at you.
A most amusing story indeed. Unfortunately, it has little to do with me. True, that rascal Tartuccio was spending my money, but he was acting entirely of his own volition.
The guests began whispering to each other, obviously dissatisfied with Iravetti's excuses.
All I really wanted to get at was that His Highness is a personage truly as extraordinary as his lands, and I'm happy to see him at this celebration. And now it's time to announce the winner of the tournament.
Me.
This year, all 3 contests were won by guests from one kingdom. I'm not sure what charms, tricks, or divine intervention helped him, but let's hear it for the winner! Your Highness, if you please. I know you're not exactly a master of ceremonies, but please try to say something articulate to my guests.
Alright, so we have a diplomacy check, a bluff check, and a diplomacy check. Let's do the biggest one. Right? I hope my victory didn't offend. I do apologize. It's hard to tone down all this talent. The crest greet your playful speech with amiable laughter. 3,840 XP.
And now, with the competition over and the prize awarded, let's get on with the main part of the celebration. The banquet! I can hear your stomachs growling from here. Let's get to the table, and later we'll see an unforgettable fireworks show.
Alright, I'm happy with that outcome. There was a earlier check that we could have done instead of handing over Tartuccio's ring, but I kept the ring on purpose for this reason. I never actually turned it into before. Like the first thing I sold when I got the Olegs. So when I found out that you could actually use it I wanted to show you guys that you could use it. Now, of course, my character is butt-ass naked, but got one sword, and that's it. We need to put his gear back on. Some robes on. Yeah, hippie. And we had the cool hat of awesome hats and a cool ring. Notice we picked up another ring. Where is it? Let's do newest, oldest. There it is. Lesser ring of ultimate protection. So obviously there is a greater ring of ultimate protection, or a ring of ultimate protection, however it's phrased. But basically this is the watered down version. And look how good this one is just by itself. We get a +4 resistance bonus to all our saves. That's literally like a cloak of resistance +4. Then we get a +4 deflection bonus to armor class. That's like a ring of protection +4. All in one ring. Then it gives you spell resistance 19 and a DR 1/dash, which means that all physical damage is lessened by 1. Now that's not amazing, I'll grant you, but again, it may save your butt. So I'll happily equip some sort of ring. Again, compared to my ring of protection +3, that was definitely an upgrade. We're of course using our belt. Physical perfection 6, 6, and 6 for strength, dex, and con. For the time being anyway. What else did I have? I had a cloak. I don't need the cloak of resistance anymore, so let's grab the cloak of shadows. It'll give me protection from blindness and dazzling effects. My boots, of course, are Mage Core skin boots. That's extra armor for me as well as extra movement. So definitely appreciated. And I'm missing a necklace. Harvira. Gloves. What we got here? Cheat sheet gloves. Lightest touch. No, that's someone else's. Athlete's gloves. Trap Springer's gloves. I guess it's just doesn't much matter which ones I grab. Let's grab just the cheat sheet gloves, I guess. Braces of armor class +8, definitely. And of course I'm missing all my rods and stuff. So let's actually sort by type. Extend meta magic rods probably in here somewhere. Of course we have our pet, Ember. I'm missing, ooh, these are all these greater elemental rods. Greater extend meta magic. Let's actually slot that instead of the extend because that's better. Well, I don't need it. Actually, the greater's the spells level 1 through 9 you can extend. This is 1 through 6. I can only cast level 1 through 6 spells, so there's no need for me to have the fancy one. The fancy one should honestly go to her because she'll have access to level 9 spells. Probably already has access to level 7 spells right now. Here's the Rod of Fearless, though. I wanted that, and I don't need that one. I do want my Peridot, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, Peridot Wyvern. Type, and I'm missing something else. It was the Hand of Magistan. There it is. Okay, so in case I ever use a scroll, I get to copy it, and then there's the chance that I don't waste it. So that's always helpful. Now, having said that, I'm missing swords. So let's actually start putting those back where they belong. A cold iron one. We'll put that one there. Troublemaker dagger. Put that one there. Dagger +1. Cold iron dagger. Arcane protector. I want to swap those out. And then this spot here I have my longsword +3. So I can tank it up a little bit if I need to. And that should do me. Alright. Now, as you can see, we have something to talk about back home. This is probably... oh, the Rushlight tournament's over. Yay! We do have a couple days to get back to town, so we probably should do that. Remember, this is not our territory per se. That doesn't mean we can't have some fun in the area. You see, we have stuff in the area to do. Pacific River Bend, and this is the disposal of the river pirates. Notice we have Hemlock Island over here somewhere. Clearly it has to come this way to get to it. And now that we have access to the Pataxian realms, we might want to just kick around a little bit just to...
would be nice, don't you think?
I should actually, before I forget, make sure that my spells are still here. Oh, the game was nice enough to remember my spells, even though I lost some when I lost my gear. That's okay. That is actually alright. We're tired. Let's see, we got some people that are kind of whining. So we should probably camp. Let's actually do that. What we got here? We're going to use rations, so we use those up. I'm amazing at cooking. Val, you maintain armor. That's just a bonus to her armor class. She's really good at that. She's great at camouflage. She's great at camouflage though too. She's great at watch. Lindsay's great at watch, and she's great at hunting. And since we are going to try to buff ourselves, do we know anything about the items that we can make? Hearty Purple Soup gives us a... Also, let's see, immunity to all poisons and disease for a day. Removes all poisons and disease effects and fully restores HP. Oh, that's kind of cool. Don't need that though. Caneberry Pie. Fast healing 1 for a day, so we all regenerate. Now we're talking. Begin that rest.
You and Regungar are so different, but you know, you're a great couple. I'm even a little jealous.
Don't be jealous. Join us. We're always excited to try new things. Don't blush. I'm just kidding.
That little flirt that they got going on there is always adorable. And there's apparently a running, not a joke, because it's not a funny joke, but it's a running bit where people are suggesting that Lindsay's character is homosexual because of the way she talks to various women in the group. It is kind of interesting that they may have put that in there. I don't know if that's actually canon or not, but it is interesting to think about. Lindsay Love. The darkness retreats in the tenebrous depths. Oh yeah. Every little bit helps. Put him on that. The darkness retreats in the tenebrous depths. And what's the other one? Sign from above. Okay, we need to get back for that one though. Okay, so it sounds like tenebrous depths might be something to do right now. Obviously not with this party. This party's kind of crazy right now, so we're going to have to wait on that. We could, though, take on the river thing while we're here, I suppose. Wrong way. Oh, here's Pitax. And we're not allowed to enter Pitax right away, so if you want to try. Yeah. Are they going to turn us away, or is this a random fight?
Can you make an epic pose?
They're going to fight. Oh my. Some guys that turn into kibble. Alright, so here's my turn. Clearly I want to have my power attack and my arcane strike back on. Oh, I got my ring. So I need to activate circumstances. Not charisma. Where's my intelligence? Strength. And let's get our spell DCs up, shall we? So that's 4 things right there that basically your ring does for you. And again, once I do that, I just leave that on. I suppose I could have some fun here with my Rod of the Fearless. Remember, turn that on. Rod of the Fearless is a quicken metamagic rod, or a lesser quicken metamagic rod as well, and allows me to do things like we did for the other characters, where we can use a cantrip just to straight up someone in the face. Because I've already used my swift action, though, that took my attack. It was okay. I did it for a reason, though, too. I wanted to actually see what kind of armor they had. Forgetting, of course, the fact that it's a touch attack, and it really doesn't tell me much. But it apparently did work on him. So either he's raging, or I did scare him. Oh, it could be from my Bogeyman's robes. Oh, that'd be cool. Proto's turn. We definitely need help. Okay. Make sure that she doesn't have any metamagic rods on. Oof. Over here. Alright, Lindsay. Buff our team if you would, madam. And do a little good hope on the team as well. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, Val's turn.
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong. Let us strike as one.
There we go. Ooh, that was a solid hit too, man. Go Val. Look at that base attack bonus, or 15, and attack bonus at 34. She is just crushing stuff right now. In turn, Eliza. You're gonna come all the way over here. We're gonna pop some skeletons or something on top of you bastards. Let's see. What do we have? We never used this warding rune. Let's give this a go. That should stop that character from being able to do anything for a few rounds. Oh, he got scared and ran away. Octavia's turn, huh? Alright, she's got her bow. Which, by the way, what bow is she using? Prowling Cat. So she gets extra attack. Whimsy. Let's see if we can actually get that one equipped. So that she can have some fun.
Consider me provoked.
That's the Whimsy. That's the one right there. Hideous laughter on the hip. Potentially. Thing seems to do it all the time, though. I mean, it's not set in stone or anything like that, but it's one of those where it goes out of its way to, like, literally make sure that that happens. Come up here. Mess with the Skeltist. Skeletons are doing a good job holding the line. Proto, what can you do? Oh, you can do your trick. Fearless. Cantrip. Oh, are they immune to sneak attack? Maybe they're not being flanked right now. Let's try that again with a snowball on this one. Nope, no sneak attack. Still, okay damage. Come on, guys. Get to work. Lindsay, 5-foot stutter, step this away. Unload on this guy.
Right.
1, 2.
I'm writing you out of
Nice
a
crit.
story.
4 hits in a row. Lindsay, you beast. Val's turn. Why don't you go over here and help with this
Do not falter.
rogue type. Liza, since that guy's busy, let's come over here. And we will summon Bogeyman right there. I hate that. No idea where that Bogeyman's gonna cast stuff. Alright, Tavia. What do you got? Let's move you that way.
This is
Got
for
the
you.
road. There he goes. Laughing his fool head off. Now again, that doesn't make them helpless. They can defend themselves, but they do clearly fall down and get all kinds of stupid. So it makes it easier for the melee characters to go in and just beat the crap out of them. Alright, Proto. I want you to delay past Val. Val's going to come over here and help tank that.
You deserved it.
Whew. Doing work, Lindsay.
Onwards.
Okay. And the reason I did that was so that we have two characters, the Skeleton and Valerie. Skeletal Champion, excuse me. Hopefully flanking this greater enraged owlbear so that we can hit it with a sneak attack. Nope, still didn't work. Probably because of that damn cultist rogue right there, so let's kill him. Got him. Because he's a rogue, I'm guessing that's why we're not getting sneak attack on that guy. I wonder if these owlbears are, since they're enraged, I wonder if they're considered immune to sneak attack. Know anything about these guys? Just that's tough. Okay. Doesn't say anything about them being immune to it, so we must not be setting it up properly. It's alright. Eliza. This guy's already here, might as well beat the crap out of him.
I'll fight if I have to. too.
Now Whimsy shouldn't work on these things, because I don't think these guys laugh. It's one of those because they're not humanoids. Shouldn't work. Alright, Dora finished that one off from an attack of opportunity, apparently. She can come over here and help charge. Or not. Just come over here and attack. Oh, that'll do it.
You should have run!
There we are. Lindsay, finish it off. Nice. As you can see, this guy over here is still standing around doing nothing. Now, the moment we attack, I'm sure that they're basically going to get on top of attacking back. That's okay.
Stay behind me.
Kind of like that ward for that reason. Basically, it's like a timeout for somebody. Okay. Let's try a little electric for fun. And a double beam. Yeah. Ooh, still not enough to take him out, huh? Oh, Phantasmal Kill apparently worked beautifully. Alright, let's rob some bodies. Take their stuff with them. Looks like we're already overweight, so we'll probably have to leave some stuff behind. The downside of taking this particular team is because they're not particularly strong. So having said that, is there anything I can drop that's not going to be missed terribly? These axes, shield, get rid of these, that and that. And I know we're still within the same category range. I just like lightening the load a little bit so that we don't do anything stupid like tout around, you know, stuff that's worth like 12 bucks.
I do what I must.
Let's see. We're close to the pirates. Let's see if we can get that done today, and then head back to our base. There's no hurry on the Tenebris Depths, but we will put a team together to go finish that off. That should be still not done. Alright. Our travels brought us to Little Town. Surroundings in pursuit of the dastardly river pirates who have preyed on innocent merchants and travelers. It would have been nice to march in, knock some skulls together, and call it a day. But rumors suggested we were heavily outnumbered. Even worse, the villains had set up their camp in a defensible position inside of their boats, protected by the river on one side, a thick forest on another side, and a sticky swamp on the third. And in a bunch of sentries, add in a bunch of sentries watching for intruders, and we were in trouble. Thank goodness our fearless leader had a plan. So we have an athletics check for 32, mobility check for 32, or lore nature check for 32, and again, 30, 27, 28. Mobility is our best check. We began our approach by picking our way through the swamp. Success. Before long, we emerged from the swamp, our gear dripping with stagnant water. From there, we could see that there wasn't one camp. There were two. The second was several hundred feet away, judging by the campfires, which meant that we could vanquish the pirates in one camp before the others could respond. Got 1440 XP. So we have a trickery check 32 or a stealth check, which is amazing. We sneak closer, hoping to launch a surprise attack. Let's do the stealth one. Success breeds intense. Gave us lots of cover as we made our approach, launching a surprise attack before pirates could respond. We had already felled several of them. Gained 1440 XP. Yeah. Good work, team. Apparently this is the fight. Holy hell. Like monsters, huh? Okay. I dig it. Someone cast a haste spell, apparently. Dora. First off, give yourself a shield spell.
Strike!
Tavia. You can go ahead and delay your turn past Liza. Proto's turn. Let's get some skeletons all up in here. And since we do have the ability to do so, I will use my swift action just to straight up do a little damage. Nice. Okay, Lindsay's turn. Sing us a song, Linz.
This is where I step in.
Nice work, Lindsay. Alright, Liza's turn. This guy's dead. You got a guy coming here from the side. Let's do the electric guys. Be a lot of lightning bolts being scattered around, but on the next combat round, I think what I'll do is I'll buff everybody with the resist energy for electric. Matter of fact, let's actually just prove to ourselves that Octavia doesn't have that prepared. Doesn't look like it. Only one guy over here and another one over there. Let's do a little baleful polymorph, shall we? You are now a puppy. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. Now I think about it, I think that's something that's still busted in the game. You can't loot bodies once you transform them. But I think you can dispel the effect and turn them back to normal, even after they're dead. But I don't know that. Well, yeah, I just want to take a gainer. What's going on here? Okay.
Don't hold back!
Ooh. Got a little piece of me, huh? Alright, come on up here, Proto. And why don't you summon these skeletons on these guys? Looks like someone got slowed. Lindsay, I want you to 5-foot stutter step closer.
Serves you
Unload on the
right.
closest target. Nice work, Lindsay. There's a whole lot of arrows. Alright, she has the abilities, like I said, to protect us from electricity. There we are. And that may not have caught everybody, but most everybody at least. And these guys are going to start spamming lightning bolts. Octavia's turn. They didn't go after this guy. So just leave him alone. Alright.
You can't stop me.
Snake attack. And Whimsy. Yeah, I'm telling you, that thing lands all the damn time. DC 19, that's not that high even, really. Uh-oh, bomb boy. Alright, Val. Time for you to earn your keep. Get up in here. And over this way. Alright, Dora. Got one of them, and apparently that was the one that summoned stuff. Very nice. Oh, walk right past that guy. Proto, you got slowed, it looks like. Yeah, I'd say. It's okay, it's what skeletons are for. They're doing work. Come on, team, you got this. The DM wants to tell me stuff.
You deserved it.
All right. What the hell? Did I break it? Uh-oh. Rensula Vascari. A voice cuts through the din, roaring with such indignation that the fighting momentarily stops. What is going on here? Who dares attack my camp? The speaker is a suntanned woman wearing light blue traveling clothes with high boots and embroidered heron adorns one of her sleeves. She draws her weapon and takes a menacing step forward. I don't know who you are, and any patience I have to hear your excuses is as short-lived as you are. If you have something to say, make it good. Behind her, you can see more combatants approaching, but you have a few moments before they arrive. Knowledge roll check. Recall what you can about this woman's heraldry. The blue outfit and heron's insignia indicate that this is an important member of the Riversong trade house of Pitax, possibly a member of the controlling family. Joffrey Vascari leads trade house, and this might be his sister, Rensula Vascari. As you look down at the enemies you've slain, it seems you haven't attacked pirates, you've killed influential merchants. Oh, well, shit. This is a terrible mistake. The old-dressed woman glowers at you. Explain quickly. Okay, we have various checks. You receive these orders from King Irvedi herself. Here, take a look. That's a cute one. We got 3 different diplomacy checks up here. 25 says, I was acting in good faith to chase off pirates, and I would never have attacked a Riversong convoy. Someone provided me misinformation, likely because they stood to profit if we killed each other. Or 32, we heard that a powerful band of pirates was camped here, and we were going to chase them off. 38, which we can pass, is a playwright convinced us to hunt pirates in order to win the adoration of Pitax's common folk. Let's do that one. Massive XP jump. Succeeded diplomacy. You understand how appallingly stupid that sounds? Yes, she rocks back on her heels, looks skyward, and mutters something exasperating in her breath before looking back at you. I am Rensula Vascari of the Riversong Trade House, not a pirate. Be more specific. Who put you up to this? Diplomacy check. The playwright Aymar Deschamps told us about the camp. Succeed diplomacy. Rensula makes a disgusted sound. That man writes overblown dramas for a living, and you trusted him? What kind of fool would you have to be to... She trails off and peers at you more intently. 180 XP. Wait, you are Dora. I was warned that you might try something like this. She extracts a scroll from her tube and unrolls it for you to see. It clearly warns the Vascari family that raiders sent by you would soon threaten her shipments. Judge Kilvaway may be a bastard at times, but he sure knew you would attack my convoy. Wait, that's the judge. Give me a good reason I shouldn't throw your corpse to the eels. Diplomacy 38. This is clearly a setup, but I have nothing more to add. Either you believe me or not. Make your choice. Success and a bunch of XP again. Rensula considers your arguments. No matter how much I may want you dead now, it wouldn't be justice. I suspect there's no more going on that I need to understand first. Here, she hands you the scroll from the magistrate. Use this to solve your mystery. Whether it leads you to Pitax or hell, I care not. For now, leave me space to bury the dead, and I should see you again. And should I see you again, may the gods show you more mercy than you've shown today. Note from Kilvaway. I love how they actually added hell as a thing that pops up the menu here. So, okay, that's my bad. My bad. I didn't mean to slaughter all your people. They attacked first. They jumped me from the swamp. You all saw that, right? I have witnesses. So we had a level up. Our Inquisitor is now level 15, Inquisitor level 1 monk. So a level 16 character. This gives her another upgrade to her pets, which is awesome. What is that actually going to be? 3 bogeymen, 1 to 3. Bunch of soul eaters. Oof. And if she's evil, oh, that's if she's evil. Oh, Axiomite if she's not. Yeah. Or Frostrand if she's evil, which she's not. Or one Movonic Diva if she's neutral or good, which is what she is. So Movonic Diva, those are basically, how to explain those guys? Those are meleeers, I believe, but they're kind of like the Axiomites with the electric attacks, just better, obviously. So we'll do the next skill rank. right. Note here for myself. All right, so she has a point to spend. Now, wisdom is the obvious choice. Notice that she has a even strength stat and odd dex stat. She has an even wisdom now, and she has an odd charisma still. So I can put one more in charisma or one more in dex to decide what I want at the end. I'm not particularly convinced that one's better than another, really. And the reason her charisma is probably highest because of the crown. Yeah, she's at a 7, so it's probably going to go into dex. But this will give her extra armor, extra spells a day, and extra will saves. So again, all wins across the board in my opinion. More athletics, more of all those things. And use magic device. Let's see, she has a teamwork feat that she gets. And remember, she has the solo tactics, so whenever she's out and about, all she has to do is be next to one of her pets, and she gets all these buffs that you're seeing here. So shielded caster, what's this? Plus 4 competence checks. It goes up if there's a person wearing a shield. Shield wall. But she's fighting next to Valerie, so she gets extra armor. See that? For instance, because Valerie's wearing a tower shield. Shake it off. Saving throw bonus. That might be the one to take. Yeah, I'm good with that. That's not bad. Spell, level 5. What does she have so far? Spell resistance, chains of light, flame strike. So she's got damage, crowd control, and some protection. Is there anything in here that would buff her? Righteous might. There we go. Let's get some righteous might going up in this house. And again, her upgraded pets. Now, of course, we have the Giggling Hill. This is the other mysterious shrine, by the way, that we have to deal with. Okay.
I need to catch my breath.
Middle of nowhere. That's quaint. Come in this way. That way.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Thank God we got those aviaries, right? Allows us to handle this crap. Looks like we have another thing there. Point us in the right direction. Tristan has some news. This is the one where I caught this last time. By the way, I needed to turn him on to this. I caught him last time doing this on the way to the Rushlight tournament. Tristan had something to say. So we've been kind of stalling a little bit. I'm doing that just so I can mark the spot a little easier. Back this way.
Gather our strength.
Everybody's tired. I get it. We're going back home though. We got Tristan the whiny. Let's see if he's got any new stuff.
I'm off.
Ah, he does. And we can get rid of some of our crop we just picked up. And back to being poor again. Let's see what we got. Dagger, 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 dagger. Keeping the cold iron, keeping the rage claw. Punching dagger +3. Probably don't need that. What do we got in here? Breastplates +2. Mithril scale mail +1. No one's going to use that in my base. Chain shirt +4. Now that might be somebody's. That could be like a reg item. We got gloves. We're keeping and get rid of those rings. Springer's gloves. Wisdom. Probably don't need that ring, but just to make sure, we'll go back to base and hand in that stuff. And I could probably give someone this cloak, by the way, since I got a different cloak now. What does he got for sale is the real question. Oh my, look at all the stuff. Ooh. I need to go through this list with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure there's not something on this list that I need or that she needs, like Serenity. Finger of Death, no, because that's level 4. Summon Monster 7, so no. So deal for that one. What about you though, madam? You use Summon Monster 7 and Hellfire Ray and Banshee Blast. Dealio. Let's hop out of here real quick to do that. Let's do hers first. Type. Not the Horde Wilting. Serenity. Remember, that's level 7. She can't cast level 7 spells. She can, though. Not bad, not bad. Matter of fact, while we're here, there's a +4, here's a +5, kid. Take the better one. And we're going to give her the Cloak of the Bear. This again will keep her from being tripped, because it gives her a bonus to her combat maneuver defensive. So literally a better chance for her to not have Bull Rush and trip and all those other weird ass things to afflict her. Ring of Protection +3, no. Okay, looks good. Let's talk to him one more time, because we were just looking at scrolls this last time. So now we can actually more completely look at his wares and not be quite so distracted. We don't got a lot in the way of cash, but Wand of Instant Enemy, Crushing Despair Wand, Wand of Oath of Peace, Wand of Resounding Blow, Death Ward. It's pricey, but definitely worth. Here's your Elemental Meta Magic Rods again, Intensified. That's the big one. That's the level 9. Oof, that'd be a nice one to get. That'd be amazing for her. Some of her level 9 spells you can't intensify because, again, it's already level 9. But with a Meta Magic Rod you can. And again, that could carry her to levels beyond the amount of damage it does. So that's pretty nice. But I don't think we need any of that stuff. What else you got? Local Resistance +6. Oof, there's a price tag on that one. Here's a Headband of Mental Perfection we can't afford either. It's only a +4 across the board. We have armor. Okay, here we go. Nothing fancy there. Sonic resistance. Hide armor. Elemental protection. Acid and fire. Dark studded leather. That's that. Armor protects against blindness, or at least helps protect against blindness. Chain Shirt of Life. See that? That's a bonus to saving throws against spells with the quote-unquote death descriptor. That's not bad. It's a decent +3 armor to begin with. What weapon-wise you got? There's a Speed Quarterstaff again. Remember, she's got the better one now. That's the +4 flaming one. But here's a Speed Necrotic Longsword, just like I have. This is the same stuff. Okay, this is basically the same stuff he had. I don't think he has anything remotely different. He may have, and we're just not really picking up what it is. May have been the scrolls, for instance. But the weapons seem to be the same thing that he had last time. And that's cool. We need to get back to base, though. People are tired, so they're whiny. And we need to probably wrap this up. This is going to be a very quick video today, so it's going to be about an hour long. I'll be on, though, again later.
Would be welcome.
Travel to here. Okay, we're going to teleport back to base. Rest up and all that shit when we get there. Come on. Teleport to Dorraj. Alright. Enter the throne room. So Tristan's probably going to talk to us immediately once we get here. The reason this video is also going to be short, guys, is not because I need to do anything. It's a matter of off video. I'm going to re-equip everyone's gear. Remember, we tricked everyone out specifically for this Rushlight tournament. Now we don't need to. Oh, crap, almost forgot. Lindsay's pissed at her old professor. Remember, her old professor and his student, the little jackass right here, was responsible for someone's death. They were beating on people, thinking that they're all that. So now they beat someone to death, and the little bastards freaking are in my kingdom. So, Professor, I can't believe you lied to me this whole time. Don't try to deny it. I've heard everything. How you covered for bullies, how it wasn't even Iravetti who fired you. It was Atalia. How could you? Lindsay, please calm down. I didn't deceive you. You never even asked about the circumstances of my dismissal, remember? It's a sensitive subject. I may not have been a good enough student to be one of your favorites, like Alandi, but I do remember the basics, like the 7 types of lies, and I definitely remember your lecture on lies of omission. You wanted me to write a book about all the atrocities going on within the walls of the academy, and you left out a pretty big one. You never told me a student died because of you. What other sensitive subjects have you been avoiding? Lindsay, I beg you, please let me explain. Meatball, is this true? Yes, Your Highness, I'm afraid it is. As I devoted all of my attention to developing the talents of my students, I fear I neglected their moral development, and this led to tragic results. But with all due respect to the headmaster Gitarin, I don't believe in incorrigible villainy, especially not at such a young age. Shellen teaches us not to renounce those who stumble, but to give them a chance to reform. I traveled to your lands in the hopes of a new beginning for my student and for myself. Okay, so let me briefly, as an aside for the last part of this video, talk about something, as this actually strikes a memory from my own past. I used to teach, and at part-time, I should be real clear on this. I was a part-time, which they call adjunct professor at a university, where I got my PhD, no less. And I had students under me that were in charge of labs, for instance, one of which was a little arrogant, a little snot. I won't say his name, because I'm not that kind of person. However, it was like an understood thing that the professor tells them what to do, how to do it, and stuff like that for the lab. I let them have a little free reign to do as they please, because they were aspiring professors themselves. They were going to school to get their PhD, and eventually they would be in charge as well. So I kind of let them do their own thing. But there was a couple times where I had no choice but to specifically do stuff. Like say do this kind of labs and setups, things in particular. Well, one of the things was a class project. Specifically, they were to have a project when they came back from spring break. Okay, so for anyone of you that have ever been to college, or have ever just enjoyed spring break without ever going to college, I guess you don't have to go to college for that. You know that when you come back from spring break, whatever you're doing, you're probably not at your best. And that's not a dig on the students. It's time to let off steam. That's the whole point, in my opinion, of spring break. So I was kind of lenient, and as such, the group project that was required of me to give them was to be done the day they came back from spring break. Now, I didn't want it to be something that A, would be difficult, and B, I also didn't want something that would be, if they miss it, that they would like fail my class, the lab in particular. Why? Because I also remember spring break. Not that I ever went, but I remember students coming back from spring break days after. So instead of coming back for class bright and early on that Monday, they would stroll in around Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, depending on how good their spring breaks were. So I decided their class project was they were to watch 2 videos. Okay, we were at the time they were studying a biology class. They were studying the effects of like global warming and things of this nature. And so I got 2 videos from our library at the uni. And these are literally DVDs, for those of you who remember what those things are. These are DVDs that the university had. Now, I didn't find them and bring them in. No, they were at the university, part of their list. Okay, so anyone can go to the library and get these things. So I went through a handful of them. I didn't like any of them except for a couple. One was pretty good, and then another one was really bad. And the reason it was really bad was again, it was about global warming. And the second one was a documentary, and it was all about how global warming isn't a thing, which of course infuriated me as a professor because I know that's bullshit. But I watched the whole thing and was trying to understand how this could have been in our library, and literally put forth as any student could have or checked this out and saw this and said, see, the library has it. And I was very upset about that. But then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, well, this is actually good because it's counterpoint. So we had 2 videos that I gave them. One, which was, in my opinion, honest, and this other one, which was completely a lie. And the more I watched the lie, the more I realized some things about it. For instance, it was a video put together by a bunch of professors. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's the people that, in my opinion, when we're talking about scientific studies, who else would you trust but other scientists, is what these professors were. However, 2 things became abundantly apparent as I watched the video. One, and this is really weird, none of the professors were from the United States. And it's not picking on other countries. I'm just saying that it was very odd that an American documentary about how global warming isn't a thing was never done by professors in this country. It was other countries chiming in and saying it's not a thing, don't worry about it. The other thing that was very odd to me was when they interviewed these professors, the professors set up their camera. I don't know how it was done, but however it went down, these professors were in their, clear and obvious, their office, where they work. Okay. Now, like I said, I was an adjunct professor. I have friends that are full-blown professors. You know, we were talking tenured professors that were never going to be fired unless they do something god-awful horrible. Basically, they're going to retire as a professor. And I've seen their offices. They are drab. They're boring. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional one that's, you know, they pretty it up a little bit, get a nice new coat of paint. But by and large, these are like bunker buildings. I mean, they're very bland. Okay. And the video professors, the ones that were putting forth this lie that global warming doesn't exist, had the most luxurious looking offices I have ever seen. Like apartments. These things look gorgeous, like beautiful vistas, teak, like wood everywhere. It's just amazing the kind of stuff that these guys had, these male and female professors had. And again, none of them from the United States. And I'm like, either A, these guys are all well-to-do in these other countries and our professors are treated like dirt, which I don't believe, or B, these guys were paid off. So I decided to dig a little deeper. When I got the video done and I looked at the disc itself, it actually says who distributed and who marketed it. I forget the name, but I wrote it down at the time. And when I looked through it and looked up the company that was responsible for putting this video in our library, it turns out that it is a shell company for a big oil company. So to me, it was obvious that this was propaganda, lie, bullshit, you know, put out by the companies that want to keep making their money. So again, I'm like, well, again, this is a nothing project. I'm trying not to make it too heavy for the students that may or may not show up for it. And I'm like, okay, so I gave this to the two TAs, the students that were graduate students that were getting their PhDs, that I, again, let on a very long leash to let do as they please. But this was the project I had to do for them. So I gave it to them and told them to watch the videos with the students, discuss, you know, compare and contrast the videos and what they think about the two different opinions. And I made it very clear it was different opinions. But I didn't say what. And again, I figured that, you know, the TAs would watch them ahead of time, like I did, and get a feel for what was really going on. One of them was particularly arrogant. And when he started watching the video, he watched it with the students. So he never watched it ahead of time, which is fine. It's not his fault. But, you know, students are busy. I understand that. But he watched it with the students, and they got about 5, maybe 10 minutes into the 30-minute video when it was clear and obvious that this entire video, just like I had said, was nothing but global warming isn't a thing. Don't worry about it. Now, to his credit, well, not to his credit, but to backtrack a little bit here, this was the first video he put in, which of course is clearly a mistake. If you watch the first video, he would have seen the proper one, the one that, you know, here's global warming, here's what we can do about it, this is what we know, this is how we know what we know. And then the second one, which is clearly the exact opposite. And it would have been a nice compare and contrast, I thought. He got so infuriated by it and just assumed that I was saying that global warming isn't a thing, which is why I gave him this video, that he took the video out, denounced me as being a kook, and told the students that they would have to write a paper now, which was not part of the project. And all the students came to me afterwards pissed off because now they had to write this massive paper about global warming because their TA was offended. I never talked to that student about it once the students explained what was going on and what had happened. And I'm like, but didn't he watch the videos ahead of time? Surely he watched both of them and realized that one was clearly the honest one. And the student said, no, he popped in this one first, and that's the one we saw for 10 minutes. He didn't even bother watching the second one. So that's hit on him. That's totally his fault. But yeah, he was quite pissed. And I don't feel bad about that because that was his narrow-minded approach. He should have watched both videos, quite frankly. I don't understand the logic of denouncing me as being a kook when I never said I believed either of the videos. I said, here's their project. have them watch these, return this to the library when you're done. That's about as far as my involvement got. But yeah, he was quite upset from what the students told me. And I asked them, I said, well, how many students came back for spring break in time to watch the video anyway? Because I knew that this was going to be an issue. That's why I didn't give them a hard project. And he said, half the class. I said, well, what happened to the other half that didn't get to, get there for the project? Oh, they get to write their paper. So at the very least, I will say this for that TA who was a total tool. At least he was nice enough for the people that didn't show up for that first day back to let them still write the paper, which was not my idea, but at least they didn't flunk out from this. It was a very weird video, though, I must admit. The entire time I'm watching this video, I'm like, that's not true. That's not remotely true. They literally hit, all right, so I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm a scientist, or used to be, and this shit always pisses me off. They had, part of it, like I said, this video was done overseas. They used as an example a town that was not in the U.S. I want to say it's like Sweden or some shit like that. And the town is at the base of this big ass mountain, right? And thanks to presumably global warming, the mountain top, which is all the snow and ice and everything else, has been steadily receding, but sliding downhill and encroaching on this town. So a town that normally is perfectly fine, or they showed images anyway of it being usually perfectly fine, is suddenly getting swamped with snow and just ice sheets, and just like the town's damn near uninhabitable anymore. But then, and you'll love this, then the scientists go on to say, well, yeah, but in the summertime, when it all melts and it goes back and it recedes back up the mountain, it's not like the snow walked back up the goddamn mountain, it just melted. But they make it sound like, well, this is just a natural progression of things. It comes down, it goes back up, it comes back down, it goes back up. And I'm like, that's not remotely what that is. And I'm sitting there the entire, like, I literally face palmed while I was watching this video in the library. I'm just like, no, oh God, my brain hurts. And that's why I included it. And again, just to reiterate, this was in the university library. This was something any student could have grabbed and shown his or her mom and dad and said, look, Mom, this is totally true. No such thing as global warming. It's in our library. And people would have believed it. And that's bad. That's real bad. I can't believe that the university still had that video when I got there. And again, it was put out many years before I had actually looked at it. So it had been there for a while. Anyway, sorry, rant over. It was a very odd situation. I know, this whole thing reminded me of that because of the professor letting the students do what they want and then letting it come back to bite them in the ass. I made way too many mistakes as a professor like that, where I just let students not walk all over me, but like get their way just because it was the easier path. I literally had a student, we had a fill in the blank question, I kid you not, where the choices could have been, the right answer was purple, the other choice would have been pink or light red, however you wanted to phrase it, but basically not purple. And the student got the test confused and said green, which is clearly wrong, and she lost a point. And she argued, I shit you not, for 20 minutes in class while I'm trying to teach this lab. This is when I was a TA, trying to teach this lab, and she tried to argue that, well, green is a color and therefore she deserves half credit. And to my stupidity, I got tired of dealing with her and I was getting a headache from it. And instead of just saying no and piss off, which is what I should have done, I left it up to the class to decide. I stopped everyone what they were doing. I told the whole class what the answers were, because we just went over the quiz. And the answer was purple. It could have been pink, but that would have been wrong too. And she got it confused with a different test and wrote the green. And I said she thinks she deserves half credit, half a point, not the full point because it's clearly wrong, but she feels like she should get half a point. What say you all? Fully believing that my students would all just poo-poo this idiot student and say, no, you don't get anything. No one said anything. So of course, since I literally said I'd leave it up to the class as a democracy, we'd let the class vote. I sit there and says, who feels like I literally, this is how I phrase that. Says, who feels like she should get, or should get no points? No one said anything. Like literally, you almost hear crickets in the background chirping. Then I sit there and said, all right, who thinks that she should get full credit? Thinking again, was on the right here, and they would totally say, screw it, she doesn't deserve full credit either. One kid come up and say, oh, come on, man, give her the point. So say you all. Again, nothing. Okay, I said I would go by what the student said, and only one student chimed in and said give her the point, so I had to give her the point back, because I said I would, which of course to this day still pisses me off. She was so proud of herself too. She like took her little quiz back and was all happy. After she leaves class, the lab, a whole table, and I kid you not, a whole table of students were shooting me dirty looks, and I walk over and said, what's wrong with you guys? What, y'all sucking a lemon? And they're sitting there like, I can't believe you gave her that point back. I asked you specifically, should I give her the point? You guys said nothing. I didn't hear boo out of any of you guys. And this was their response. I didn't want to be the heavy. I was counting on that. But it was my fault. And again, mistakes I made, will never make those mistakes again. It's like when the students, a fine example, another one before we get off here, was we'd have students, you're grading papers. It's a common thing. You're grading papers and you're trying your best to be fair. I mean, at least as I did. I don't know about everybody, but I am. So again, someone gets an answer, it's clearly wrong, -5 because it's a 5-point question. Okay, someone else gets the same answer by the end of me grading like a full stack of like 50, 60 papers, man. And it's the same, but not quite the same argument that the other person had. And you kind of see where they're coming from, and you're getting a little tired, you're a little worn down. You're like, well, maybe I'm being a little too harsh. And you say -4 instead of -5. Because you give them partial credit. Because they're like, well, you're kind of right on this one little point here, but really it's still wrong. But you're like, -4. Well, inevitably, what will happen is those two students will find each other. The kid with the -5 will find the person with the -4. Compare their answers. And guess what? Well, I had basically the same answer as that student. I deserve -4 too. What? Well, I just looked at hers and she has the same as mine, and this guy's all pissed off because, again, I took 5 off of his and 4 off of hers. And I'm not being fair. All right, bring them to me. Let me see it. Let's be fair. I look at his. Yeah, I looked at hers. Okay, that's fair. And I'd say, you are right. -5. What? I would literally take the other student down from -4 to -5. I took -5 off for his. It's only fair that I take off -5 for hers. So now I have 2 students pissed at me. I did this on purpose. Now, be clear on this. He would get mad. I'm not saying it was a he. I'm just saying the other student would get pissed and they would leave. The other student that lost more points now would be even more pissed and would argue with me at this point. Like, what the hell did I do? I was doing fine with my 90 grade and now I'm at an 89. I'm in the B category because of this doofus. And I sit there and says, well, you brought it to my attention that I was being unfair. And that's as a result, again, this is the only thing I can do is I have to mark you the same, right? So of course the student's still not happy, and I tell him this is my way out. And the other student now again is clearly gone; they can't hear shit. And so the one student that got screwed completely is pissed and standing right next to me. I would tell him or her, and I sit there and says, "Oh, do me a favor though, because I don't have my grading book with me, and I will forget if you don't email me later to tell me to take that point off. So you email me, don't you forget, email me, otherwise your grade will stand as it is." And you would think that would catch everything, and the student would clue in and be like, oh yeah, and never email me. Like half the time, not all the time, but half the time the student would still email me, tell me to take the point off, and then complain about taking the point off. It's like, dude, you just... Never mind. It's all good. -1. Taken off of your official score. Good job, man. Way to clue in on what I was trying to say to you. I don't know. Anyway, rant over. Let's see. Let's see. How much of what you and Lindsay wrote about the Academy is actually true? There is no direct lie. I admit that in some cases I may have concealed or misrepresented some details to protect the innocent. But believe me, it was with noble intentions. Irvedi's atrocities are no secret to anyone, and this book may well bring about the fall of a tyrant, but I cannot allow the Academy to perish alongside Irvedi. There are too many innocents, wonderful artists, poets, and composers who've been tainted by Irvedi's crimes against their will. They stand to lose everything if we publish the truth in its entirety. So, to put things simply, the book is full of lies, isn't it? Your innocent colleagues all pander to Irvedi, and you want to shift all the blame onto him alone so they all come out clean? That's a good point, Lindsay. What I want is to protect the little good that King Irvedi brought into this world. The Academy is more than just wrongdoings and bullying. It's made up of many brilliant artists who have the potential to change the world for the better. Should we freely trample flowers just for happening to grow out of a muck heap? Lindsay, what do you think? I don't know. Teacher, you told me so many times that the world isn't made of things. It's made of stories, and we ourselves are made of the stories we tell and believe. But shouldn't those stories also be true? You said that people are essentially animals who love stories. Did you really mean that people are just lying beasts? Well, what is the truth then? A precise statement of past events? We're not new shocks or historians, bound to precision for the sake of precision. A bard must take into consideration how her story will affect her audience. Truth and fiction are our materials. They're as valuable to us as rough marble is to a sculptor. The same story used to evoke anger, envy, or fear can be turned to inspire bravery, love, and hope. Both versions told in full truth. The events at the base of the story aren't what's important. What's important is the lesson your listeners take from it. I don't know, man. I mean, I agree with him on a lot of what he just said there, but I'm more on Lindsay's side on this one. You're freaking lying, dude. Lindsay turns to you, baffled. I don't know what to do. I want to burn the manuscript, start over and write the whole dirty truth about the Academy, but maybe teacher is right, and that would be a horrible mistake. Maybe saving the good the Academy brings is more important than punishing everyone who's guilty. Eobald's right. That's one I should be picking. I think you're right, Lindsay. Eobald, what of the student who died because of your favorites? No one will ever see his creations, and he won't be getting a second chance either. Now, see, that's me. That's the one I believe in. You're right, Lindsay. So many beautiful words, but it all boils down to this. Eobald, you're trying to protect the guilty from being punished, aren't you? I like that one, too. That's evil. Okay, neutral. Someone teaches us to spare even villains so long as they're kept repentant. Nothing you're teaching speaks of retaining their posts or keeping their careers. Yeah. Smells right. Alright, we gotta make a choice here. I'm gonna go with chaotic. I think you're right, Lindsay. Eobald, what of the student who died because of your favorites? No one will ever see his creations, and he won't be getting a second chance either. Eobald lowers his head. You're right, of course. Shellen teaches us to value human life above art, and to let my eyes be clouded. Who am I to put the work of my favorite students before people's lives? How many creative artists does the world lack because we encourage their attackers? I'm sorry, Lindsay. You've taught your old teacher a lesson today. We'll rewrite the book. I'll tell you everything I know and everything I'm guilty of. What's this? Lindsay, will this book distract you much from your main project? What the hell is your main project? I'm gonna do this one. I hope this the new manuscript will be less poetic. Will take less poetic license, Eobald. I don't want to be disappointed again. I swear by Shellen's name, I'll conceal nothing. If truth must see the light, then I'll ensure it does. If the truth about the Academy destroys it, then there wasn't really anything there to save. Let's go, teacher. We have work to do. Lindsay turns to Alandi, and you, pack and leave. No, don't say a single word. I have no interest in your excuses or apologies. I just never want to see you again. Yeah, get the fuck out, murderer. Alandi shuts his mouth, swallowing his response before it started. With a single nod, he leaves without saying a word. Bitch. Bunch of XP. Good job. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. That's an okay outcome. I mean, that was just a sucky situation all around. Here's Tristan now. Tristan remained silent for a long time. When he finally opened his mouth, his voice is hoarse and tired. I won't take much of your time, Dora. I've been meaning to ask you about something. This might seem stupid or arrogant or just insolent. Tristan stumbles and catches his breath. I want to talk to you. I think you know what it's about. It's what I've done and what I haven't done. The priest lowers his head and grows quiet. But let's speak in private, far from curious ears. I will be at the viewing point in the palace garden. Please come as soon as you can. And that's the one, again, we've got on the open road where it says, Tristan wants to talk to you. There's no massive time limit on that, but here's a talky talk. She's got a gift for us. Avalanche. Sounds sexy. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, you can't give her choices. I keep forgetting that. I was getting ready to pick something, but she's the one that you can't pick. Alright, what was it? Avalanche. The newest thing. Oh my. Sling staff. That does cold damage. +3 sling staff. And +3 frost halfling sling staff. By the way, this is the first time I figured out that the sling staff was a halfling chose weapon. Just like the elven curved blade and all that stuff. You know, like the orc weapons and the dwarf weapons, where they're exotic for everyone else but dwarves or elves, or in this case halflings. So while this one is normally an exotic, it's a martial weapon proficiency for just a halfling. That's how I figured that out. Grants its wearer +2 morale bonus to damage and the ability to cast stone calls. This is a level wizard, hence the avalanche title. Yeah, it's cool. Worth a penny. I'm gonna sell it. I'm telling you right now. I don't want that. Cool. We're gonna go here real quick just to turn this in, and then we'll be done for the video for today. I'll probably get back on later today, but like I said, I'm gonna have to redo everybody's gear, get everyone back to the way they should have been, because everything's all over the place now, and I want everyone to be back to their normal status. And we got new gear. I want to make sure everyone's got the right stuff on. So, with that, my name is Brother Mutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Pardon my ramblings at the end there, but it did remind me of that, and it always bugged me. Today, this is good to get stuff off your chest. With that, though, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.